Question 1 on your geometry mock exam tells us that a closed cylinder has a base whose diameter is 12 centimetres. And a height of 25 centimetres. The first part of the question asks us to find the area of the base of the cylinder. So in order to find the area of the base of the cylinder, we need to consider a circle that has a diameter of 12 centimetres. So the area of the base will be equal to pi times the radius squared. That gives us pi times 6 squared, 6 being the radius, which is half of the diameter. So that gives us pi times 36. And pi times 36 is equal to 113.097335, and so on. However, the question asks us to round this number off to two significant figures. So therefore, if we look at this number, the first significant figure is the first non-zero digit from the left, so that's the 1 there, and then that's the second significant figure. So we need to consider this number. Because it is below 5, this number stays as a 1. In order to bring this close to this value, we have to replace the 3 with a 0. So the final answer to part A is 110 centimetres squared. Part B asks us to consider the circumference of the base of the cylinder. So we're looking at the base of the cylinder again, same diameter as before, 12 centimetres, but now we're interested in the circumference, so in other words, the distance around the outside edge. To find the circumference of a circle, we say that the circumference is equal to pi times the diameter, so therefore the circumference will be equal to pi times 12, note we're using the diameter in this case, and pi times 12 gives us 37.69911, and so on. Rounding this off to two significant figures, here's our first significant figure, here's our second significant figure. So we consider this number. Now because this number is 5 or above, this number gets rounded up to 8. So therefore our final answer for part B is 38 centimetres. For part C of this question, the volume of the cylinder. To find the volume of the cylinder, we take the area of the base and multiply it by the height. So in this case, we have the volume is equal to pi r squared, which is our area formula, which gives us the area of the base, multiplied by the height. So we have pi r squared times h, which is pi times 6 squared, times by the height of 25. So that gives us pi times 36 times 25, and pi times 36 times 25 gives us 2827.433, and so on. Rounding this off to two significant figures gives us, there's our first significant figure, the first non-zero digit from the left. Here's our second significant figure, so we consider the third significant figure. Because this is below 5, this number stays as an 8. But in order to bring this value close to this value, the same order of magnitude, we replace the numbers before the decimal point with zeros. So the answer in this case is 2,800 centimetres cubed. To answer D, which asks us to calculate the total surface area of the cylinder, we can consider the cylinder to be made up of three basic areas that we can then add together. We have the area of the circular base and the area of the circular top, and then we have the area of this curved section. So we already know the area of the base, and we can calculate that using this, and we've got two areas that are the same, the top and the bottom. So what we can say is that the total surface area total, is going to be equal to 2 lots of pi r squared. That gives us the area of the top and the bottom, and then we're going to add to that the area of the curved section. Now we can imagine this curved section, if we were to roll that curved section out flat, then we would have a big rectangle. Its dimensions would be the circumference times by the height. So therefore what we can say is we can add to this the circumference. To find the circumference we do pi times d and then multiply that by the height, which would look like that. So the total surface area will be equal to 2 times pi times 6 squared plus pi times the diameter, 12, times by the height of 25. So just to take this one step further, 2 times pi times 36 plus pi times 12 times 25. We have here, we can do 2 times 36, and 2 times 36 will give us 72 times pi, plus 12 times 25 times pi. Now 12 times 25 will give us 300. So we have 300 times pi. So if we do 72 times pi, plus 300 times pi, we get the total surface area is 1168.672,467, and so on. Rounding this off to two significant figures, here's our first significant figure, 1. Here's our second significant figure, which is also a 1. But then if we consider the number after that, which is a 6, that number falls into the category of being in 5 or above, which means that that number has to come up to a 2, which gives us 1,200, and of course our units for this is area, so that will be centimetres squared. That's the complete answer to question 1 on the geometry mock exam.